Gary, how'd you get involved in the sport of offshore sailing?
So I initially came to the academy actually thinking about tennis, but when I went sailing the first couple of days out during plebe summer, I absolutely loved it and fell in love with it. And so I was like, got to do this for my time here.
What's one thing people don't know about the offshore sailing team?
That we compete professionally. Most of our regattas over the summer are not collegiate based. They're usually big offshore regattas with a lot of well-known sailors.
Offshore sailing boats are big boats. Do you ever get seasick on them?
I have gotten seasick a handful of times. There was this one Annapolis to Newport race where we went through a tropic storm, which is like 30, 35 knots of wind breeze, and it was a beat the whole way up, and you're just pounding into the waves.
If you could bring any celebrity out on the offshore sailboat with you, who'd you pick?
I'd probably pick The Rock just because I think his character would be so funny to have out on a boat. I think it would be great.
He's also pretty strong. I'm sure he could pull a bunch of rowing at the same time.
Exactly. I think, yeah, he'd be very useful too.
What hobbies you have?
One of my big hobbies outside of sailing is backpacking and hiking. I've hiked Mount Whitney, which is the tallest mountain in the contiguous United States.
When you're out hiking, are you a podcast guy? Are you listening to music? Or are you just embracing nature?
Usually, actually, the guys that I go with, what we'll do is we'll just sing songs that we know on the trail.
Can we hear a line?
It's like where the sugar pine trees sway in the breeze, where the tall peaks kiss the sky.
I think you're going to miss most about the Naval Academy.
Mother B. So as much as everybody doesn't like that we're all so confined in one little spot, the one big benefit is everyone that I know for the last 4 years has been right here.
What are you service assigned to following graduation?
So I'm going submarines, but I got EDO option, which is engineering duty officer option.
If you're an aerospace engineer major, why did you pick to go underwater in a submarine?
I'm actually one of two aerotrack aerospace engineers who didn't choose pilot. I was actually in the last hour of decision. I had an essay for submarines and I had an essay for pilot. And I was going between on which one I wanted. And I ended up with submarines largely because I felt that I really love the small unit leadership that they'll get.
Hey, Gary, thanks so much for joining me today. This was
the Student-Athlete Spotlight.